Hello everyone, welcome back to Triumph Cross FX channel. Today we're going to be looking at a simple strategy that I called a simple divergence strategy. Before we dive into the strategy, I want to thank you for everyone that has been supporting me on this channel. Thank you for your comments, your likes and your subscription. And if you are new to this channel, please do well to click on the notification bell after subscribing, and so that you'll be alerted anytime we upload a new video. Please subscribe to this channel and make sure you like this video so that this video can also spread to other people and for them to benefit from the great content we have in this channel. Right, so on this strategy we have three indicators we're going to be looking at, three different indicators. The first is the yesterday high or low, which is this dotted line. The second is a session indicator that will mark out the session. I want to see the Asian section marked out because it's very important to this strategy. Then the third indicator is the divergence indicator. So on this divergence indicator I'm using the TDI Pro indicator, right? So I only need the divergence line on the price, so this is going to be hidden, right? Then we want to take this strategy only after the Asian section. So any setup that comes up in the Asia session, we are not going to be taking it. So what are we looking at on this strategy? And that reminds me, please, this strategy is strictly restricted to the 15 minutes time frame. We want to see the yesterday high. In case of a buy, the yesterday high, in case of a sell, we want to see the yesterday high above the Asian box. Then if we want to buy, we want to see the yesterday's low below the Asian box. Then after that we want to see a divergence form on the yesterday high or across the yesterday's high. So I'm going to strictly explain for a sell right now. We want to see a divergence form on a candle on yesterday's high or across it, and that candle must not close above the yesterday's high. After that we want to see at least two bearish candles after the candle with the divergence. We want to see at least two bearish candles formed after the candle with the divergence. The second candle should close below the first. So they must not necessarily be next to each other. As far as we have a bearish candle traded away from the candle with the divergence, we want to see any other bearish candle close below the first bearish candle that trade away from the candle with the divergence. Then once that has happened, we wait for price to pull back to the rejection point, that is the pin of the candle with the divergence. That is what will be our entry, right? So on this we have a divergence formed on a candle that did not close above the yesterday's high, and yesterday's high is above the Asian section or Asian box. Then what we do, we check for two bearish candles. So we have this first bearish candle that trade away from the candle with the divergence. We mark it out. So here now we wait for any candle, any other bearish candle to close below this first bearish candle. So we have that here. Then once we have seen that, we mark out our rejection point, which is this. So our entry is going to be here. Our stop loss is going to be here. Our target is going to be this swing low before price went up for the retest. So our target is to get at least 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio. So on this, our stop loss is about 20 pips here. and 1 to 2 will give us 40 pips at this point, and final target is here. So this is almost 60 pips, about 1 to 3 final target. So that is how you trade with this strategy. Let's look at another example. GBPNZ happened on the same 13th of July. Look at this. So we see a divergence formed on a candle, and this candle did not close above the yesterday's high. Yesterday's high is above the Asian box. Remember, the divergence must form on or across the yesterday's high. Then we want to see two bearish candle, the second closing below the first after the candle with the divergence. So we have this bearish candle formed after the candle with the divergence. We'll mark the low of that candle and wait for any other bearish candle to close below it. So we have a bearish candle here that closed below it. Then we mark out the rejection. So our entry is going to be here at the rejection point. Stop loss is going to be here. Then our target will be here, at least here. So where we are considering first is where price rejected from to go for the retest. So remember, we'll measure our stop loss, which is about 30 pips here. Then our first target is going to be here, and we want to take at least 1 to 2. So 1 to 2 will be somewhere here, 60 pips here. Then final target is around 90 pips. That is also 1 to 3, right? So we'll look at EURUSD just to give us clarification. I want to bring more examples. EURUSD. Look at this EURUSD here. Divergence form on yesterday's high, and yesterday's high is above the Asian box. The candle with the divergence did not close above yesterday's high. We look for a bearish candle that formed after the candle with the divergence. Mark the low of that candle, then wait for another bearish candle to close below the first bearish candle, which is what happened here. Then we now mark out our rejection point on the candle that has the divergence. So our entry is going to be here. Then we have our stop loss above here and our target here, final target here. If we measure our stop loss, we are going to be having 16 pips, so about 15 pips. Our first target is going to be 30 pips, so here has given us over 30 pips, and our final target here gave us 102 pips. So that is it. I'll look into 2 more examples. So let's look at Euro GBP. I have an example on Euro GBP on the 8th of July. Yes, look at this. So we have a divergence form on a candle, and the candle did not close below the yesterday's low. This is a buy setup. We have been looking at sell setup. This is a buy setup. So we want to see a bullish candle after the candle with the divergence. We mark the high of that bullish candle. Then we wait for another bullish candle to close above it, which is what happened here. Then our entry is going to be here. Our stop loss is going to be here. Now remember, one of the rule is the yesterday's low must be below the Asian box. So on this one, the yesterday's low is not or was not below the Asian box. So though the trade moved very well, because of this we are not going to take this, but this is just an example of how you look out for a buy setup, but these violated our rules, so it's not a setup we should take. Finally, let's look at USDCAD. USDCAD happened on the 1st of July. USDCAD. Okay, here, so you can see we have a divergence here formed on a candle that is on yesterday's high, and yesterday's high is above the action box. We want to see two bearish candle close, one bearish candle close after the candle with the divergence, and another one must close below it. So we have more than one candle close below it here, right? So we mark our rejection point, which is this. So our entry is going to be here, and our stop loss will be here, our target here, and finally here. So what happened? Price dropped and retested it, then it hits our stop loss. So this was a loss of about 10 pips. So you're also going to encounter some losses, but the profit you are going to make is far bigger than your losses. Alright, so that is it on this strategy. I want you to take your time to study this strategy, watch this video over and over again, and do some back testing. Then also check it on live chart to see how it will play out before you invest your money. How do you get the indicators and the template for this strategy? The description to my free Telegram group is on the video below. Please join the group. From there you go to the file section of the group, you will see the indicators on the file section and the template as well. So these are the indicators. So we have the yesterday's high indicator, we have the work time indicator, which is the session indicator, and we also have the TDI Pro indicator. The symbol changer is what gives me the list of my symbol at this point here, so you all can also see it there. The name of the strategy, the name of the template to this strategy is a simple divergence strategy. So when you get to the group, you will see that. If you don't see it, you can contact me at message, sorry about this, at message at capital letter E, then MISAJ. Then I can send the indicators and the template directly to you. I wish you all the best. One more thing, please like this video and share it to your friends. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please do so. Thank you.